Hi and welcome. Security Content Automation Protocol or SCAP is a protocol which is used by various vulnerability scanners and auditing tools to scan a system for any software related flaws and configuration related issues. In this video, I will discuss this protocol along with its various components. So let's start. Now, Security Content Automation Protocol refers the security data of a system in a standardized manner. Therefore, it lets the vulnerability scanners and auditing tools to audit the security data of a system in a standardized manner. So the vulnerability scanners can manage the vulnerability of a system in an automated manner using this protocol, and also it lets these tools to measure the level of configuration security done on the system. And if an organization has developed a specific system policy with regards to the configurations of the systems of that organization, then this protocol also helps to evaluate the level of compliance against the system policies of an organization. Now, SCAP was introduced in various versions, and its current version is 1.3. So its first version was 1.0, which has various components which are also included in the recent version, that is 1.3. So the first component is National Vulnerability Database, and I will discuss each and every component in latter part of my video. And the second component is Common Vulnerability and Exposure, and third component used by SCAP is Common Vulnerability Scoring System, and next component is Common Platform Enumeration, and next component is Common Configuration Enumeration, and next component is Extensible Configuration Checklist Descriptive Format, and next component is Open Vulnerability and Assessment Language. In 1.1 version, an additional component of Open Checklist Interactive Language was introduced, and in 1.2, the asset identification and asset reporting format and configuration, common configuration scoring system, and threat trust model for security data was introduced. So once we talk about National Vulnerability Database, so it is used by SCAP, and it is basically a national vulnerability database of United States government, and it is used by SCAP, and this database contains the security checklist and security related software flaws and misconfigurations and product names and the impact matrix with regards to misconfiguration and software flaws. So this National Vulnerability Database uses the Common Vulnerability and Exposure and also Common Vulnerability Scoring System. So once we talk about Common Vulnerability and Exposure, it is basically a naming system for publicly known vulnerabilities. And National Cybersecurity Federal Funded Research and Development Center of Military Corporation manages this Common Vulnerability and Exposure with funding from Department of Homeland Security of United States, that is its specific Department of Homeland Security internal department is National Cybersecurity Division. So this Common Vulnerability and Exposure was launched for public in September 1999. So it basically contains the standardized identifications for the security vulnerabilities, which can be referred all across different vendors. So common vulnerability scoring system is a scoring system which is a standardized way of scoring to describe the severity of a found vulnerability, and it assigns the severity scores to the vulnerabilities and allows the responder to prioritize the responses according to the level of impact of that particular vulnerability or threat. So this common vulnerability and scoring system has the similar structure as the common configuration scoring system. So both of these are scoring system, and one scoring system is for the vulnerability and the later one is for the configuration. So the common platform enumeration is a naming system for operating systems and application and the devices. So any application or operating system or devices can be referred in a standardized way using this protocol. Then common configuration enumeration is similar a naming system to refer the configuration issues in a standardized way. And this extensible configuration checklist descriptive format is a language for specifying the security checklist, and more specifically it is basically a wrapper around this OCIL, which is Open Vulnerability Assessment Language, and basically it describes the security testing procedure done by this SCAP protocol. So these are basically different checks which we describe in this Open Vulnerability and Assessment language, and then there is a wrapper around this language which is Extensible Configuration Checklist Descriptive Format. So using this wrapper, this SCAP protocol uses the Open Vulnerability and Assessment language, and Open Vulnerability Assessment language describes the various security tests which are performed on the system to check its state of its compliance with regards to security configuration and also with regards to any software flaws. And this open checklist interactive language is a framework for expressing a set of questions which can be presented to the users, and according to this interactive language we can interrupt or interpret the responses from the user. And this is just the asset identification to identify the assets in a standardized manner, and this is just a reporting format to report the findings about the assets. And this is just a scoring system for any configuration related issues. So it just measures the severity of the misconfigurations done on a system. And this is a trust model for security automation data. So it basically present or enables certain integrity checks and security checks for the XML data which is processed and used by this SCAP protocol. So SCAP protocol operates using this XML based data, and security of this data is ensured by this trust model for security automation data. So this was all from my side. Please stay connected to my channel for similar videos. Thank you.